Okay, now, what is your name and where are you from?
My name's Carter. I'm originally from New Jersey, and I've lived in New York for like 13 years now. And people also know me as Ray Contour.
Okay, let's get the good stuff out of the way first.
Cool.
What are your websites, your social media handles?
Cool. So it's raycontour.com. That's RayContour.com. You can find me on Instagram. It's the real Carter Winter, like the season. And you can find me on Spotify and iTunes. It's Ray Contour, RayContour.
Okay, now you want to talk a little
YouTube
bit.
also. You can find me on YouTube, Ray Contour.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
What do I do besides just survive in New York City? Let's see, I'm an actor, a filmmaker. I write screenplays and I produce a lot of content, and I also make music. So I have like a history of making shit, you know?
How did you get into quote unquote show business?
I kind of started making music and acting in high school, you know, when I was a kid. And then when I moved to New York, like the first year I was here, I got cast in a independent film, and I also was just doing a lot of shows in Brooklyn, and there was a good music scene back then, a lot of DIY venues, and just kind of haven't stopped since, you know.
Now, New York is filled with folks who want to become actors or musicians. I get a lot of these people coming out here saying that.
Yeah.
What are some tips you have for the folks out there coming up?
As far as like acting is concerned, I would say definitely like go study at an acting studio. A lot of people think they can just do it, and like a lot of people do have like natural talent, but I'm doing a audition for a project right now, and I got a lot of people sending me audition tapes, and like they can't even read the instructions. So they like a lot of the auditions came out wacky because like they didn't know what they were doing, you know. Just go.
Don't
like
overestimate your own
yeah, like just
abilities.
like do the work, you know, like get a real headshot, or you know, submit yourself, follow the taping instructions, get a teacher, you know, like hone your skill. Like if you think a basketball player doesn't fucking practice every day to be a pro, actors practice every day to be pros too. And as far as music, it's the same thing. Like work on your shit, get better, take criticism, and like don't let your ego get in the way of being good, you know. It happens a lot.
Now, where do you see yourself going with all this acting and music stuff?
I see myself going all the way. I'm always making content. I'm always writing. I'm always making music, and I just really feel like that's what I was made to do. So you know, it's kind of like that's like my everything. My passion is to be an artist. You know.
Who are some of your inspirations in the business?
Yeah, like in the music business, I'm a big fan of like Run the Jewels, Jay-Z. I got a lot of respect for Outkast, The Roots, Mos Def, Talib Kweli. I like those guys. MF Doom. As far as like acting is concerned, I've always been a big fan of like Jack Nicholson and the films of Martin Scorsese, you know, like Abel Ferrara. There's so many influences, really. I really like gritty New York films, you know, those are my favorite, like thrillers, dark shit. Who else? Paul Schrader, he's a great writer, you know. Other actors I really like guys that are like character actors, like I respect them a lot, like Paul Giamatti. I love John Turturro. I'm a big fan of Danny DeVito. Like what a classic dude. He just he's in his lane, you know. Like people like that, I got a lot of respect for. And you know, I just respect people who. Oh, you know who I'm a contemporary fan of though is Donald Glover, because he's like me. Like he does it all. He makes music. He's an actor and he writes and produces television. I think that's just like, when does that guy sleep? I don't know when he sleeps. He's incredible, you know.
Now, before I get into my general questions, is there anything more that you wanted to say about show business?
Show business is really slimy, and there's a lot of like weirdos who try to tell you how it is, and they try to pocket you. So just like trust your gut. You know, if the shit seems funky and weird, it probably is. There's a lot of con artists out there.
What is this? What is this stuff that we hear about regarding the casting couch?
There's a lot of like rip-off artists. There's a lot of people who are gonna try to tell you there's like a quick way. There is no quick way. All right, you gotta work. You gotta work for this shit. You know, I've done like a dozen student films, you know, before I got like my first real paying job. You know, I did background work. I made a bunch of crappy films before I got into a film festival or had people invest in my films. And music too. Like there's all these like scammers who are like, oh, like give us money and we're gonna blow your shit up. And it's really smarter to spend your money blowing your own shit up. Like invest in your own ads, invest in your image, invest in your own campaign. You know, don't think that somebody's gonna just sweep you off your feet and make you famous tomorrow. That's like a total lie. So watch out for people who tell you that.
Now, you are an actor.
Yeah.
Can you do a New York accent?
You know, it really depends on where you want me to be from, but like this is one of my favorite voices that I like to put on, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's this, you know what I'm saying? Dead ass. It ain't even that brick out here today, yo. It's kind of warm and shit. Sweaty balls.
Very, very good. I like that.
Thanks, bro.
Now, sticking with show business, what is your most successful viral content out there?
I got some cool stuff. I made a short film called Dead Layer that got me some notoriety. It's deadlayerfilm.com. It's like a short little drama about a graffiti artist. And it stars Cameron Douglas, Michael Douglas's son, and you know, Kirk Douglas's grandson. So he did that right when he got out of prison. And
he's the troubled one.
Yeah, he's doing great though. He's a great guy. That one's cool.
He's reformed.
Yeah. And I also have my single late night show. It's gotten a lot of spins. It's got over 300,000 plays on Spotify, and it's got the video has like over 80,000 streams. So check those out, and also check out my song Royals, which is a real banger. A lot of people love the video and that song. And I dropped the EP today. That's why I'm out here in the park. It's called Sagittarius Rising. It's 6 tracks inspired by basically like the Black Lives Matter movement this year in America.
Now tell me this, what are some positive responses you are getting from your fans, your audience?
You know, I think that a lot of people respect just the fact that I'm hustling and I'm really still at it and going for it. And you know, it's kind of cool when you show somebody your work and they're like, that was like impressive. Like I had no idea you were capable of that. So the simple gratification still means something to me at this point. You know,
do you get messages from strangers giving you props?
Yeah, like people, you know, stop by and leave a message. People, you know, it's funny. Like you end up engaging in this world. Like you engage with your fans. Like I got people who talk to me on Instagram that I barely know. You know, and they're like, oh, I love that new song. A lot of people like today were like, oh, that song She Cries off your new EP. Like I really like that. I mean, it's cool. Like I think communication, like we live in such a communication age, like it's all about engaging with people. And, you know, every now and then you engage with a hater, and that's funny too, you know? Like I can't believe people take the time out of their day to like be negative, but mostly it's a positive response, you know? Especially like, I did another film with 18 Bleecker Films called Donut Shop. That's on 18 Bleecker Films Vimeo. You can find that on their Instagram, 18 Bleecker Films. Like a bunch of people hit me up like, wow, you were like really good in that film. And it's like, I don't know, it's just like you do your job and
you never know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of cool. That one got into a lot of festivals and it's doing well. You know, it's you put in the work, and the thing with media is like you release it way later than when you did the work. Like I recorded some of these songs like months and months and months ago, and then you promote them later, you know, so you got to wait for the marketing, and you know, and
there's no instant gratification.
No, you got to get used to it. You know, that's the part that I've definitely had to get used to. Like you do something and then you put it out like a year later, you know?
Now let's get into some general questions.
Cool.
Where would you be if you weren't in New York?
I like Los Angeles. You know, it's a weird city, but I definitely think it's beautiful. I'd probably like to live in Santa Monica. I might even moved out there. I was going to before this happened. I had a house lined up and everything, and I just was like, you know what, I got to stick it out for a little bit longer. Los Angeles is beautiful. If I was like old and retired, I might live upstate New York in the mountains. I like it up there. It's kind of nice to get out of here sometimes, you know, go to the beach, go out into the woods. But you know, I love New York. I don't know if I'll ever. I got a pretty sweet lease, so I might not leave.
Oh yeah, especially now with the lower rent
I got a pretty sweet little studio, so you know.
But LA is waiting for you.
Yeah, Los Angeles is just. It's a different vibe. I got a lot of friends out there, a lot of my childhood friends who were pro skaters and in that business, and they moved out there. So I got a lot of friends and family out there, you know.
Have you ever had any game changers in your life? Anything that happened to make you change the way you live your life? Or have you always been sort of a motivated person?
I would say for a while, there was a period of time where I was really like partying a lot in New York, and it's a gift and a curse. You know, I met a lot of people. Like I've met a lot of my good friends that way through like hitting every bar, hitting all the clubs. And then I kind of got exhausted at one point, and I really switched it up, and I just live a way healthier life now, and it allows me to make a lot more work and just be so much more on my hustle, you know?
So you got that out of your system?
Yeah, like every now and then, like, you know, a little partying happens, but like not like it used to at all, you know? Like it's not like a regular routine in my life, actually. Like I'll go months and months and months without doing anything like frivolous like that, you know?
Here is something that people out there are dying to know. What are some clubs and bars that people need to visit in New York?
Well, definitely I think it's an important time to show some support to some institutions. We've lost so many places, like so many iconic watering holes where everybody meets. I mean, I still love the Skinny Bar on Orchard Street. A lot of my friends still meet there, even just to grab some food and just catch up. The Skinny Bar, you know, we lost Max Fish. We lost a lot of spots, you know. It's kind of unfortunate. One of my favorite bars in New York, though, is the Garret West, the Garret East, the Garret Nolita. All my homies bartending those. Those are great spots, great drinks, great food. So those are some spots I'd like to shout out, you know.
So are you saying a lot of these places are permanently out of business?
Well, those spots that I just mentioned are still open, so still show your love and support. But a lot of places have closed. It's hard to say like what's gonna happen, you know. Hopefully after this, it looks like there's gonna be a shutdown. Like hopefully everything opens up and there's like an economic boost, and you know, New York roars back to life. I think that's definitely gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a renaissance. I think there's gonna be so many people eager to go see live music and see live theater. Just get out, you know, like we're all living in a box right now and it's driving us crazy, you know?
So you are optimistic?
You gotta be optimistic, you know? Just, you know, this is the time to write your novel and like record your album and then get ready to pounce, you know?
Now, here's a generic question for you. How important is marriage to you?
Marriage. This is a left hook.
If at all.
I'm single, and I come from a divorced family, but that was kind of like the way it should have been for us in my world, you know, on a private tip. But I definitely think I'll get married one day, hopefully once. I'd like to get married once.
Get it right the first time.
Yeah, like one marriage would be nice. You know, I think it's great that anybody can get married now too. I'm a big supporter of that. A man,
You mean the gay marriage?
Yeah, gay marriage, you know, or whatever it is, marriage. You know, I think that it's important. It's really important for people's like economic stability to be able to do that. So, you know, if that's what people want to do, that's great. If people never get married, that's cool too. You know, like if that's their choice, that's their choice.
Yeah. Now, Ancestry, how important is that to you? You know how a lot of people now they're sending off their DNA to find out where they originally came from. Is that important to you? Would you be into something like that?
I mean, I know a little bit about my background. I'm Irish, German, and a little Jewish on one side. That's like my New Yorker side, and my other side of my family is from the South, and they're like Scottish and British and French Canadian.
Yeah.
I think it's important. I think that it's also important that people are really open-minded to other people. Like most of my life has been about making friends with people who are totally different than me, and that's what makes New York like one of the coolest places on the planet.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, like it's cool. Like I'm not running. I mean, I have a Celtics jacket that I like to wear, but I'm not running around like
Irish pride.
Nah, I mean, like I have some pride. You know,
Yeah.
I think the Irish people are. I'm more proud about that part of my background, and also like I have a lot of Jewish family in my family that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not directly Jewish in a way, but like
You mean
I mean
religiously?
most of my best friends are Jewish, you know.
Yesterday was Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Oh yeah, happy Hanukkah. To
How
all
did you
my
celebrate,
Jews.
if at all?
I didn't celebrate. No, yesterday I was like really busy, and I was watching all my other friends celebrate, and it kind of made me depressed.
Yeah.
You know, it's an important thing to get together. Like my family is pretty paranoid about coronavirus, so we're not really
Oh yeah.
making a lot of contact because I'm in the city and I'm exposed to a lot of people, but.
Yeah. Don't want
Definitely,
to put them
I
at risk.
don't get it twisted. I wear a mask everywhere, and it's in my pocket. I just didn't want to wear it for this interview. So,
Okay. You're
Yeah.
keeping it safe.
yeah, I wash my hands, and I don't touch my face a lot, and I wear a mask. It's pretty easy, guys. You can do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Next question. What is the weirdest thing you've seen or heard right here in this park? How much more time you got?
I'm good. In this park, when I was like 12, I was walking with my dad and my stepmom, and a guy came right up to me in front of my parents and tried to sell me a bag of weed.
Wow.
I was
Definitely a lot of
like,
that going
whoa,
on
Washington
here.
Square Park, whoa. That was in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
And he had nasty teeth too.
Right.
I was like, damn, he was trying to sell weed to like a kid.
Mm.
That's
In
crazy.
front of his parents.
In front of my parents, yeah. That's bold.
People here definitely don't think before they act. Now, do you speak any foreign languages?
Foreign. I speak a little bit of Spanish, like intermediate Spanish. From,
Can you say anything in Spanish?
Sí, bienvenidos a Washington Square Park y yo espero que tú vas a escuchar mi música.
That's not bad.
Yo soy un rapero, raconteur, Raycontour.
Very, very good.
Thanks,
that's,
bro.
That's a lot better than most of the people who do these interviews.
Well, I've worked with a lot of working class Spanish speakers, you know, as a bartender, and it's really great to be able to talk to people and communicate with them in their language. Like, it makes it a lot easier because English is fucking confusing for people. I believe that. It's confusing for me.
Have you had people say bad things about you in Spanish and you understood them?
And I caught them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's always funny.
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
Yeah, you catch people and they're like, oh.
I've had a few of the people
Get the
say
drop
that.
on them, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny.
Always watch what you say. You never know what people are gonna hear.
Yeah, I mean, unless you speak some really obscure ass language, you usually gotta be kind of in New York. Like you never
Especially
know.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Now, what countries and states have you been to?
I've been to Canada. I've been to France, and I've been to Germany, and I have been in several parts of Canada. I've been to British Columbia, and I've been to the east side too. I guess
Toronto.
that's yeah, like Ontario, like north of Maine, like that part. I lived in Maine. I've been to almost every state on the northeast coast, like all of them. New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, all of the like Pennsylvania, Michigan. I've been from Jersey. I've been to Delaware. I've been to Virginia. I've driven through most of the East Coast states down to the south. So I've done that, and I've been out west a bit. I've been to California. I've been to Oregon, Washington, and I have been to Nevada, Colorado a little bit, and I think Utah, because I went through the desert and I did some whitewater rafting, and I think we like crossed some state lines, and I whitewater rafted all the way down the Colorado River, and yeah, so that was fun.
Any particular places stand out to you?
Washington State is beautiful. So is British Columbia. Europe is amazing. I mean, if you get a chance, definitely go to Europe. I definitely want to see more of the world, you know. So
Where are some places you want to go?
I definitely want to go to like Japan, China, Vietnam. I'd love to go to Mumbai, India, and I definitely want to go to. I want to go everywhere. Fuck. I mean, why
Check
not?
out the Bollywood scene.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a Bollywood actress, and I'm helping her with a project now, so I'm hoping to definitely see that, you know.
Now you're from New Jersey.
Originally.
What are some places people need to visit in New Jersey?
Asbury Park.
Is that the best part of the Jersey Shore?
It's a weird place, but it's pretty amazing. It's been through a lot. It's still very poor, but it's had a big revitalization. The Jersey Shore is kind of gorgeous, like all the way up and down. Parts of it are a little more bougie than other parts. Some parts are really trashy and like weird and like carnival level with like kind of very similar to Coney Island, like weird. You see like, you know, a lot of just kind of working class people taking their kids get like cotton candy and nasty hot dogs and shit. New Jersey's beautiful though. The west side of New Jersey is really nice too, you know. So. The Delaware River side is also, it's like farmland, and you know, it's so weird. And then you go up north and it's just like urban. But I don't know. New Jersey is a very funny place.
There's a lot of tolls there.
Yeah,
That's
people hate
I cannot
driving
handle,
in New Jersey. That's for sure.
I tried to do the Route 1, the Route 9, but you cannot avoid the tolls.
Take the Parkway. It's the fastest, you know.
Yeah. Now, next question. What is the nicest thing anyone's ever done for you? I would imagine you had a lot of people help you out to get to where you're at today.
A couple of people really did some nice things for me. There's a couple of times where I didn't have to pay rent where I lived in New York, and that really like helped me out economically. And I think part of that is that I'm not ageist. Like I make friends with people of all different backgrounds and age groups, and you know, if you do things for other people, and you're like, you have integrity, you know, which means like you're honest and you don't lie and cheat and steal and do dumb shit for short gain. You gain people's trust. You know, New Yorkers are pretty generous, honestly. You know, I've been watching this guy panhandle on the L train, and I'm like, I just want to come up to him and be like, you got this game all wrong, bro. Like, you got to work on your pitch. Your sales pitch is a little negative, you know. Like, why isn't anybody giving me money? It's like nobody's gonna give you money if you yell at everybody. It's crazy.
Definitely gotta have that charm.
Yeah,
if you want people to give you anything.
for sure.
Now, next question. What is a meme? Memes are like very popular these days, but for those who don't understand what a meme is, what is a meme?
I think a meme is a cultural signifier. So like we grab things from culture, a picture, and then we often make an ironic reference to the picture. I saw a funny one the other day. It was Ariana Grande like making like a question face, and this is a meme that gets used a lot, and there's like a bunch of like math signals, and it was like, how much cocaine do I have to do before I have to give him a blowjob? and I thought it was funny. It's a really dirty meme. So there's a lot of different kinds of memes. You know, that one was particularly filthy, but my friend posted it. I thought it was very funny because it's true. Like, you know, if you give somebody a bunch of cocaine, you probably want something from them.
Exactly. Nothing's for free in this world.
Yeah.
Good example.
Yeah.
Now, what is the dating scene looking like right now?
It sucks. It's always kind of sucked, because back in the day, before this coronavirus, you could just go schmooze and meet people and pick them up at like a bar. You really can't do that. Like I went on my birthday, I was at a bar and these girls were hollering at me, but you kind of feel like you got to stay back. You can't like pull up on people. So this is a terrible time. A lot of people got pregnant because they were stuck inside with their spouse. And then a lot of people aren't getting laid, I think. It's a terrible year.
Lonely times right now.
Yeah.
Gotta get creative.
Yeah, you gotta hit up your old squeezes, you know.
No new squeezes.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard time. We'll get through it though, you know, just hold on a little bit longer.
Fresh meat is waiting. Now, in terms of dating and picking up girls, what has worked for you and what hasn't? I've seen some people in this park who just walk up to random women and try to talk to them and get their contacts. Is that an advisable approach in your eyes?
I would say, without sounding, I'm a little bit older now, so be yourself, be confident, know yourself, and definitely don't make people feel uncomfortable. It's quite the opposite. I'm a bartender, and I've done it for a long time, and I read a lot of people's body language. Like, if somebody's interested in you, they will send you a signal,
Right.
and that means it's okay to talk to them. And I think that this is a great city to meet people in. It's not always going to pan out, and the best thing is that you can keep it moving.
So don't just run up on a woman sitting here reading a book. For
No,
example.
don't bother people. That's stupid. If you're in a setting, people go to certain places to be seen and to be met, and other times people are just trying to stay in their bubble and in their lane, and you gotta respect that. I don't think anybody likes being harassed. I don't like being harassed.
Especially beautiful women who get approached on a daily basis.
I will say this, that I think men are intimidated by beautiful women, and that they like attention too, and they want to meet guys too, but a lot of them already have boyfriends.
That is true.
There's
Now,
usually like mad dudes sliding into their DMs, So
Exactly.
you gotta be like, you gotta have an original approach. That's why I say be yourself,
now, unless your own personality is really repelling, then don't be yourself, right? Because they always say be yourself, but
It's always good to work on yourself too. So if you're not
Exactly.
feeling sexy, like go to the gym, stop eating fucking cheeseburgers and start working out and eating healthy, and drink water instead of soda, and get on some healthy lifestyle. People like healthy, people like good energy. It's sexy, like nobody wants to deal with your unhealthy lifestyle, especially the older you get, for sure.
very good advice indeed. Now, you said you was a bartender and you have a lot of experience dealing with people.
Yeah.
What are some mistakes that you have learned by being a bartender? Because we oftentimes, in order to improve ourselves, we must learn from our mistakes. What are some lessons that you've learned that you can tell the people out there to avoid or to think about?
Well, from the position of bartending, I've seen
Because you must have made mistakes yourself, and then you must have seen other people
Are you
making
saying
mistakes.
when I'm bartending, or just I learned it from being on both sides of the bar?
Yeah, being on both sides of the bar, and also maybe watching other people
Big
screw up.
one here: be a generous tipper with a bartender. It'll get you really far. Like, you have no idea. If you go to a bar regularly and you leave generous tips, you create an atmosphere of social action around you, where the bartenders start to know who you are, the people at the bar start to know who you are, and what does it cost you but a few extra more dollars, or a 5 or a 10 spot, that you start to get treated differently, and then people pick up on that energy that you're a good guy, or a good girl, or a good woman, So like, I think that one thing is to always have a good rapport with the bartender and treat them with a lot of respect and dignity, and it works in your favor. That's like a big lesson I learned here. I made a lot of friends with a lot of bartenders, and they are like these interlocutors in New York who really can open up doors for you. They'll even introduce you to, my homie has introduced me to so many girls sitting alone at his bar. And I've tipped that guy thousands of dollars, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really drink like that anymore, but it's a great way to make friends, is to go to a bar, make friends with a bartender. They'll introduce you to people,
Don't be cheap.
And don't be cheap, especially when you're tipping your bartender. It's like big life lesson. Tip your bartender. It goes far. Trust me.
Now, dating apps. What is your opinion?
They kind of suck because you can't fucking see how tall the person is. You can't see their personality. Everyone's trying to sell themselves. So it feels like a marketing thing, You're like marketing yourself, and that shit sucks, So I'm a kind of a fan of meeting people in person. You're probably gonna meet your wife or your husband through somebody you already know, honestly.
So you're not a fan?
Every one of my friends who's gotten married I've introduced several people who got married. Let me put it that way. So it's like usually it's through common. I think it's really hard to make an abstract connection. I went on a Hinge date recently, and it was just kind of awkward, you know. It really is.
So it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
How much time you got left?
I gotta kind of wrap it up.
Okay, let's wrap it up. Any shout outs you got?
Yeah. Shit. I would like to. Let me see. Who should I shout out? I would like to shout out to my mom. She's great. Shout out to my uncle. And they're probably not going to watch this, which is hilarious.
You can send it to them.
Just shout out to all my homies and friends in New York who are like sticking it out and struggling and surviving. My friends in LA too. I know it's a hard time for everybody who lives in those two cities and everywhere really. So shout out to America. We're gonna get through this shit, and you know, just keep your chin up. It's gonna be okay. Like, just give it a couple more weeks.
That's the
Things are gonna get
optimism
better.
that everyone
Yeah.
wants to see.
For sure.
Shout out to New Jersey, all the folks back home watching.
Yeah, Jersey, New York, Philly, LA, Atlanta, you know, Detroit. Shout out to my cousins out in Detroit, my aunt and uncle out there, and you know, shout out to the people, you know what I'm saying?
Do I have your permission to put this on the internet?
Hell yeah.
Fantastic.